If you are anything like me, you've wanted to write a book for a really long time. I remember when I first dreamed of writing a book. I was probably 5 or 6, and I used to drive my mother crazy by taking a whole bunch of construction paper and folding it up into little booklets and stapling it and just imagining all these books that I was gonna write someday. So if you're like me, the idea was there early. But as I finished high school and went to college, somewhere along the way, I got the message that writing books wasn't a real job and that writing books wasn't going to pay the bills. I had a series of jobs involving writing, but none of those jobs were actually writing books. And that dream and that young self of yours is still sitting in the background asking, when is it going to be my turn? When do I get to tell a story? And in March of 2020, my shift in schedule meant that I went online and started having conversations every day, Monday through Friday, about the revision of my own novel. I was talking directly to writers about what they hoped for, what they dreamed of, and why they were stuck now. And what I realized was that the things that stop people from writing isn't that they haven't read enough books about craft. It isn't that they haven't taken enough courses. What was stopping them was that mean voice that shows up in everyone's mind and says, who are you to write a book? Who are you to think your story is any better than all of the countless others that are already on the shelf? That voice was what stopped everyone. And it was overcoming that voice that allowed me to finish my book. So I pulled back into my training and I created, in the summer of 2020, a course called Dream to Draft. And in 90 days, these writers were able to write their novel. And I know the same can happen for you because we've now had over 50 graduates of Dream to Draft. And I would love for you and your young self to have your dream come true. And I want to share with you some of the experiences that students in the course have had so that you can hear from them about what changes when you write your book.
The idea of writing a novel was laughable, I think is the best way to put it. I've always been writing, but never considered myself someone who would write a novel.
I think I always wanted to be a writer, and it wasn't the direction I was encouraged into. You know, I've always had the lack of self-esteem. You know, I always thought, oh, I can't do that because I'm not good enough to do that.
I think my earliest memory of trying to write something that could have been a story, I must have been 10 or 11. And I'm now in my 40s.
I think I spent a long time thinking there was a way to make this, like there was a way to do it properly. And if I wasn't doing it properly, it would never turn into something.
And you helped me, give me the tools and break it down in small, manageable, meaningful little increments that felt fulfilling. And so there was like, at the end of the day, my creative side was fulfilled because I did this.
I'd been working on mine in bits and pieces and dribs and drabs for 12 years or something. So for me to say, oh yeah, three months, yeah, right, no way. So that in itself was astounding.
But the other big thing was the support of all of you and our community of writers. I am someone who needs a lot of emotional support. That was the key thing. That's what made the difference for me, knowing that we were doing it together.
I think the beauty of Dream to Draft was that we weren't reading each other's work, but we were there with each other, showing up. The idea that it would be a motivation to be with other people to write was the mind-blowing part of this.
I have a writing desk. It's that commitment to myself and my idea and my ability that you all, helped me to get to after many, many, many years of self-doubt and criticism.
the changes that I got from that course, you know, I feel like I'm a different person now than I was before I did Dream to Draft, and I can't imagine going back to how I was before. So I think it was, you know, in retrospect, if I was talking to my previous self, I would have said, I completely understand where you're coming from, but just do it.
I hope to see you in class very soon.